Welcome back to the channel, and this is my list of comic book characters who deserve their own video games. Little disclaimer, it doesn't have a particular order. At number 1, I have a Static or Black Lightning game. The reason why I have these games as an either or is because they're both black characters that deal with social issues within their community, and they have a similar power system. Not the same powers, but very similar. So I feel like ultimately it's just up to which one they want to do, like have a more Spider-Man-y kind of vibe to it, they can use Static, or if they want to be a bit darker, maybe a little bit closer to Batman, they can use Black Lightning. Playstyle wise, I feel like it could be like a sandbox open world game like Infamous, and with them already having done an electric character, we could like emulate like how Cole plays a little bit. Static's playstyle, we could use the shows in the comics as a reference and have him more as a range fighter, like how he relies on energy blasts of various intensity and using his magnetization and telekinetic abilities, which work on people and inanimate objects. His ball lightning technique, which is used to blind opponents. And for his melee techniques, we could have him use his flying disc as a weapon, and we can have him use his taser punches at times, like in a combo or finisher. As for Black Lightning, we should have him as a multi-range fighter, meaning that he's both melee and ranged in order to separate him from Static more, but also because he actually does do this. He can amp himself with electricity to get stronger, and he's a really good martial artist. Batman trained him himself. We can also use his ability to turn into energy for various things, such as traveling through electronics or just straight up teleportation. He can just summon lightning bolts too. But either or would be a good choice to make it to a game. Number 2, I have a Daredevil game. Daredevil is arguably one of the most popular characters at Marvel right now, and a video game for him would go hard. As for playstyle, gameplay-wise, we could take inspiration from like the Arkham games with how they have its combat and similar to the movement. And then we can like incorporate some elements of Insomniac Spider-Man as well, because Spider-Man and Daredevil fight a little similar. A very important feature that is a must when it comes to Daredevil is getting his radar sense down packed, along with how it affects his Billy Club combat and how he uses it in general. Another is his superb combat. He's one of the best fighters in the Marvel mythos. Please include Daredevil swinging like Spider-Man. He's been able to do this since forever now. Number 3, Spawn. Spawn is long overdue for a new game, and he's arguably one of the best black characters in fiction itself, and he's very cool. Contrary to common belief, he is not some OP guy. He primarily relies on weaponry and his passive hellspawn abilities and his suit's shapeshifting abilities. As for playstyle, a commenter of mine actually pointed out, it should be like Darksiders or like Legends of Zelda, but with like war elements, and I feel like that is a good way to make this game. As for his necroplasm abilities, I feel like they need to be limited to a meter like in the comic books, but I feel like the necroplasm shouldn't be expended by doing anything, such as blasting necroplasm. That should waste it. Like externalizing the necroplasm should expend it, but when using it internally, such as amping his strength or speed or something, that shouldn't like waste the necroplasm. So it has the players getting creative with how they play as Spawn. But no matter what, Spawn's sword has to be in the game. No matter what, please include this. Number 4, ShangChi. ShangChi is a really underrated Marvel character, and he does have interesting stories when they happen. And canonically, he is Marvel's best fighter, which opens the door for so many things. For example, he is a master of all forms of martial arts, but he generally sticks with Shaolin Kung Fu. So while this may be controversial, but we could probably have like players be able to choose how they play. What I mean by this is that if they want to use Muay Thai, they can have ShangChi fight in the Muay Thai fighting style. If they want to fight in the Kung Fu style, they can have ShangChi fight in the Kung Fu style. If the player wants to use Capoeira, they can use Capoeira as well. But no matter what, his martial arts prowess has to be there. This is the man who's able to nerve strike someone as durable as the Thing, fast enough to catch bullets in his teeth. But not only that, also ShangChi can manipulate his chi. He can fire bolts of chi, he can catch fire and throw fireballs, he can regulate his body temperature, and he even got like observation hockey with his chi too. We could also include his chi nunchucks or the 10 rings as his weapons of choice. I feel like the playstyle of this game should be made after Sifu, especially how it uses its up-close martial arts mechanics, such as its finishers, and how you can interact with the environment, such as using bottles as weapons, or picking up longer objects like pipes and using them as a weapon and to counter people as well. Number 5, Strange Academy. Strange Academy is like the magical equivalent of the X-Men, with it be a bunch of beings and children who are trying to learn how to use their magical powers, and they're outcasts in whatever society they're from. So I feel the route that we should go with this is Hogwarts Legacy, in terms of like how they grant customization and how expansive the world is. But the customization will be much different than Hogwarts Legacy. You can choose your character's race. You can have them be a child of one of the many gods of Earth. You can have them be a mythical creature. You can have them be Marvel's versions of a demon or any other kind of magical creature. But it shouldn't just be their race that's customizable. It should also be their style of magic that is customizable too. While all the magic will ultimately do the same thing, it is done by different means and look different as well. Like, all of them can use necromancy, but it will look different. All of them can use elemental magic, but it will look different. They'll have different staffs, different items, etc. When it comes to the playstyle, I will admit this one was pretty tough to come up with, but I've come up with something similar to Borderlands. Not an FPS game. That by no means do I mean that. I mean having a central hub where your characters rest and upgrade and stuff, and having other worlds to travel to in order to like explore, complete missions, etc. And at number 6, XForce. For those who don't know, XForce is a Black Ops team of mutants assigned with killing the enemies of mutant kind in whatever way they see fit. I feel with the introduction of X-Men 97 and it showing more of the mutant lore, this would be a great time to show just how versatile the storytelling of the X-Men are, and show that they're beyond just, oh, they're represent marginalized people. With how broad its roster is in the comics, I feel like we should include as many as we can, but as a result of its large roster, this could play directly into its gameplay style, which it being a champion-based game like X-Men Legends 2 or Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. Along with that, so it could be like that, but with updated graphics and maps and stuff, you know? Like, not like an open world game, but just updated enough to where the combat is really smooth. There can be more combos and stuff like that. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching to the end if you did, and let me know in the comments if you want to see a part 2. I do have other ideas for other characters, but I wanted to like make it into kind of like a series. Well, this is by far like probably my longest video that I've done, and it was pretty tough and like long. So I really hope you appreciated it. Other than that, I'll see you next time.